Hello, everybody. My name is Vera, and I'm the art director and founder of Owl Studio. Our studio products outsource services. We work on 2D, 3D, animation, UI, UX design, and we also provide art direction services. And the goal we're following is to maintain highest quality possible of our graphics, and we had a cases then our clients, we became a new standard of quality for our clients, and after our collaboration, they started renovation of their art content, and that was a successful decision for their games. The company was based 3 years ago, and today we have a team more than 50 members, more than 30 of them are artists. We work on 15 projects at the same time, and we also have a strong online community. It's more than 30,000 followers in our social network. We have an online school, about 200 students every year, and we organize weekly events of live drawing sessions in our studio, inviting our students, our followers and stuff. And every month we invite artists and other game developers from all the world to give lectures and workshops in our studio. And today I would like to share some points of our experience and some points which in my opinion was the most important in our way. So let's start from the beginning. How to start your own business. First of all, we have to start with a business plan, but I will not talk about some, cases on business plan. I would like to talk about knowledge we have to create a working business plan. First of all, well, it's quite a common story. Then the team gathers to make a game, and then they may realize that maybe the game wasn't so successful as they was expecting, or maybe they finished the game and then they thinking that they could do next, and they think, yeah, we can become an outsourcing company. That's quite easy thing. But this is a point. Then indie game developer starts work on the game. This is a game of their dream, the indie game developer dreams. As soon as experienced game developer work on a game, they work on customers of a game of customer streams, and that's the difference. That's absolutely normal for the beginning game developers. But as soon as we go into a service, to outsourcing service, the first thing they have to think about is what exactly will we sell to our client? What do they need? They need a content of dreams of customers. And mostly it's really, really simple and usual stuff, something which is known to the customer, not very original, not very stylish, but made in the best way, with the best quality, with the cool speed. And this is the first point, because as soon as a company starts going services, it could be that they are, very stylish or something, and they have to change a style and find the possibility to be needed on market. And the second thing is count everything, calculate everything you think to do in real money. Let me illustrate this situation with a story. Few days ago, I was discussing with a friend of mine, and he told me a story. He was working for an outsource company as an employee, as an artist, and he realized that they had a problem on pipelines, and he told his head that they will have huge problems at the final steps of the development if they don't fix this right now. But a head of company, well, he answered, it's not our responsibility. Right now, clients pay us, and we are doing what clients want us to do. And maybe some kind of understand why he answered like this, because this is a problem between performer and game developer or business developer, because a performer, a professional, they think about how to do that they do in the best way. And a business developer, they think about money and time. And game developer comes and tells that, we have to do this because it will be better. But the business developer said that he have to spend more money and time on this, and he trying to refute this. Don't do this, please. And when finally the client had to close the project on the final steps because he faced those problems, and he didn't have enough resources to fix the problem. And a lot of clients didn't blame a studio because he knew that that was his decision. He wasn't happy enough, and he wasn't succeed with this. And where a service, they also lost a client. What do the head to do, in my opinion? Calculate the situation. How much time and money we will spend on fixing the pipeline right now? How much time and money we will spend in the future trying to fix the problem? What is the difference between those amounts of money? And with these numbers, they had to come to client and explain the situation in language their clients speak. And I'm pretty sure that having this information, client could, get right decision. So it's about always we do, all what we do, about a decision we make, about decision we don't make, about resources we have or need. We always have to calculate everything in money. So as soon as we have this two knowledge, we understand what exactly we sell and why the market needs this, and we can calculate our steps and needs and something in money. We are able to create a business plan which will be working for our story. The next point is that this stuff has to be based in our really strong skills. Because if we don't have any outstanding skill, we will be just, one more else something. So let's think about which skill is the stronger one and invest every effort, time and effort we have to make it perfect. It could be a professional skills, knowledge how to organize process, how to communicate with people. Maybe you're a good psychologist. Maybe you're good on relationships and negotiation. And we have to grow up in this because it will be a basement of our company many years. And we can't know everything. And so if we don't know something, let's find an advisor. And in my story, the thing that I didn't know how to do, and this is quite a common question for the beginners, I didn't know how to build business. Because I was an artist, I was an art director, I knew how to draw, how to teach people, how to work with a team. I understood how the game development process works, but I haven't no idea about business stuff and legal stuff. I was lucky enough to find an advisor in 4 months after this start. And right now I understand why we become interesting for this advisor and why he became our partner in a few months. Because we started doing it. It wasn't just an idea and vicious or something. We started to do the project, and then we met an advisor. We had this project. They had this project, and you could touch this, and you could understand how the team work, what I can do as a team leader and stuff. So, to find an additional resources, people, advisors, investors, anything, the thing that we have to do is do something, do the deal, and show what we are able and capable to do this. And we have resources, and we can do this. So as soon as we showing that we worth the investment, well, it's really easier than they're thinking to find an investment as soon as you can show that you're worth it. And right now we're going to basic points which helped me to build a company that was strong enough to survive some difficult times and stuff. And first of all, we have to build a system. What do I mean? A system is everything that helps us to organize process. It's task managers, documentation, messengers and stuff. It's also pipelines, and also it's rules, how do we work in team, for example. Then I had just one manager. I get all the information about what happens on a project just in real conversation, just in, well, as soon as I needed something, I just asked this. As soon as I get a second manager, I put Friday as a day of weekly reports. And as soon as I get third one, I created a sample of those reports and an instruction how to do this. And why do I say that they need a system that could be more powerful? Because that we need right now. Because then I had free managers. I was able to steal with them. I'm sorry that happens. In just a real time, in real life, I get all the information. But right now, I have 8 managers. And right now, as soon as I have new manager, I just say, here you can take an instructions, here you can take a sample of the report, and next Friday I'm waiting new report from you. So it's really easy to grow up and to scale a company. This year, my brother, who's also running a business in another industry, his company almost died because his system wasn't enough good to survive the scaling of the business. So sometimes we are pretty lazy on this, but let's make a point that as soon as some action happens more than 2 times, it's time to create a tool to organize it and include your process. The next point is think about future problems. And it's quite obvious point, so obvious that we don't think about this enough. If we don't, imagine which problem could we face in 10 years, we can find a person who right now is on the point we would like to achieve in 10 years and discuss with them and try to understand which problems they have and face right now. For our company, the problem that could be the biggest in the future was the problem of hiring. And right now, a few days ago, I was discussing with a friend of mine. He asked me, how can you get a new artist? How you hire a new artist so easily? We have this problem of hiring artists, and I would like to, take a consult from you. I am ready to pay. And I told, right now I can't say anything workful for you because I started trying to prevent this 3 years ago. As soon as I understood that our company, worked, I started a online group, online school. More than 10 years, I run in weekly streams, 3 hours every Sunday. And I join online, we discussing all the questions from my audience, we discuss the situation in game industry, and I also tell a lot about the studio and that happens in studio. And all these events, all the live drumming sessions and stuff. And because of this, we have a pretty big Russian community and Russian artists, talented people who would like to work with us because we became a dream work for them. And as soon as we need increase a team, we just put an informational social network and get enough, offers. But, that's one of the deepest thing, and maybe one time I would like to give a separate speech about this. This is a company culture. Because, people is our main resource. And if we don't care enough about our people, we have to overpay. Because money, it's not a highest motivation for the people. If we don't have anything to motivate people, just the money, we will have to pay more. We are paying more because we don't have anything more to motivate people. But we can't buy loyalty. We can't buy real involvement. We can't buy interest to our project. And I can say that a professional which wasn't really involved on the process, they was half less effective on the process. So we have to overpay. Then we are, creating a salary. We have to overpay salary, and then we have to pay half more because they not so effective. So that's why we need a cooperative culture. And then I was working myself. I didn't need some mission or stuff because I was just working. But the company mission is the thing that links everybody on the team. For our company, the mission is to become a recognized standard of quality on AAA sector and gather a community around our studio. Strong artist community around our studio. So our artists, they would like to be part of this. Personal motivation instead of just money motivation. Your employee have to be sure that they could achieve their personal goals working with you. Well, in our studio, they know that their personal growing up is important for me as for them. Common activities, it's really simple stuff because it's the first that every team maker starts to do. Well, we have those game jams. We have common projects. We are playing together, and we also have dance classes in our studio. Discipline. It's also a very difficult thing but in our company, it's very important because every outsourcing company, they have to keep deadlines. Discipline in our company is very strong, actually. And it's not just to keep deadlines. Actually, then people following this discipline, it makes for them all that happens in the studio more valuable because they have to work hard on this. And rewarding everything that they do, everything good and useful that they made have to be mentioned. At least we have to say thank you. Yeah, it have to be rewarded, and well, the best way it have to be rewarded publicly. So this is a basic points of our cooperative culture. We all do the best we can. We all are learning every day and trying to achieve the next level of our professionalism. We help each other. We don't let any toxic process to live in our communication. Well, everybody's human being, and sometimes something toxic can happen, in a team. But we don't let them live. We try to fix this. And if somebody talks about some problem, this person have to offer the solution. Well, sometimes they could discuss some problem without solution with me privately, if they're worried a lot. But if they are talk publicly in a team, they have to propose a solution. Because if it's not, it becomes a toxic process. And we work really hard, but we don't work overtime. And as I mentioned, everything we do is, everything what everybody do will have their own consequences. And the thing is, we can't just write those rules, just establish them. We have to follow. A head of company have to follow the culture the head trying to build. That's the only way it works. And the better way is just not pronounce this out loud because it becomes quite not so serious, kind of ridiculous. You have to do this yourself firstly. So if we have time right now, I would like to maybe share some points of our story. Do we have time? Yeah, well, that will be very quick. So this is our team. And we started 3.5 years ago with 4 friends. We started work in our free time without investments, just in a free will. And the project we made was a visual novel because it was 2 artists, 1 programmer and 1 storyteller. We actually hadn't another opportunity. But in 4 months, I realized that we couldn't really earn money with the visual novel. So that was the beginning of the business plan of outsourcing company. And the visual novel became our first project in our portfolio and get us the first client. As soon as I get that the company starts, I started online activities and community that works right now very good. for us and for our next goals. And well, the most difficult, maybe one of the difficult part for me, that was well, communications and finding new clients and stuff. And in last 2 years, as soon as we became something meaningful and we started showing up on conferences, in the last 2 years we gave 21 speech. 17 of them was mine, and another one from another guys from our company. 6 interviews, 21 article I wrote, 4 projects, common projects, which was, you know, noted on game dev community. And everyday posting, I run into, well, I post every day on Facebook some picture to you know, to remind the community that we exist. And in this year, we moved into a new office, and we had to increase our turnover 6 times. We was preparing this moment. That wasn't just sudden blow up. Yeah, we was preparing this moment previous 2 years, but this year was really good for us. So, well, as I mentioned, then I was explaining our company mission. What we would like to do, the goal we're following is to become a recognized standard of quality on AAA sector and working as a, you know, in the best way with a difficult project. And I know that it will be a really difficult way, because it's really challenging path, but I really don't see anything impossible on this for us. I think that it's just a matter of time.
How did you find the first client and the second client?
Well, a first client I had with a visual novel we made, because you can just, you know, gather a team and say that we are outsourcing team, this is portfolio, this guy and this guy and this guy. That's kind of ridiculous, because, you know, it's not a team, it's not an outsourcing company, just a few random portfolio. So first of all, we made this project, and we was working on this, still working on this. Even then we realized that it wasn't our source of money, just to make a strong portfolio project. And we was showing up with this project on conferences and making collaborations and stuff, and as soon as we started this, we got first clients. Then, well, the second, well, in the same way. I had also some connections, because then I started business. I was an art director, and before this I was working as a private outsourcer. And I had some connections, somebody who knew that I'm good on drawing. And also guys who knew me before this, they also came as a first clients of our studio. Thank you, guys. The pleasure was mine.